I was on BBC Radio London. I loved my job there, but I had to leave because comedy was picking up. It was very busy, and also filming and so on. There were certain things I weren't allowed to say when I was on there that I can say now. Boris Johnson's a pussy, old man. I can't say. No, I can't. There's like no other way to say it.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Yo, how is everyone doing? Wow, oh my God. Can we make some noise firstly for the Shijay and Raj Pujara? Hey, we had to do this in London, didn't it? London, make some noise, man. Come on. Oi! We were not sure that we were going to be able to do the show because last year we were all like linking up for Christmas and we were worried that in 2022, January to March, we were going to have to lock down and shut down because of the whole COVID thing and the numbers and so on. But From a Party had their party. You can't shut down our party, you understand? There's no way you can tell us to sit down. Not happening. Yeah, I'm done with all of this, honestly. Yo, right now, I just want to have a good time and live life. The past 2 years have been a madness. I just want to enjoy myself. I don't want no more press conferences. I'm done. We're in a time right now that in like the future, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, people are going to be studying this time like we studied World War II, like we studied like the Black Death, the plague and all sorts, right? I'm trying to remember this time for how it meant, what it meant to me. Not what history is going to tell me happened, but how I went through it, how people around me went through it, my friends, my family. So I've been paying attention to how everyone's been going through this time, and that's what I want to remember, because this is a crazy time. We are in history right now that later on's going to get studied. I've been paying attention to people. Like my sister, for example, she's the one person I've been really looking at, because she's not, like, she's a couple years older than me, but the difference is she's a parent, I'm not, right? Does anyone here have kids? Parents, make some noise? So you'll understand this. Didn't the whole pandemic let you know it's not the teachers? Your child is a prick. Your child, who gave birth to this spawn of Satan? This demon I never knew. Because you didn't realize the kids were at school, the teachers were saving their life because you want to kill this little dickhead. You didn't know your child until you had to really look after your child all through the day. The kids were doing madness. The teachers were doing God's work, I'm telling you. And I realized this when I go and see my sister, just how stressed out she has been with raising my little nephew. He was 9 at the time, he's 10 now. During the time of the pandemic, like, 9-year-old, right? I look at him, I'm like, he's a really, really smart kid. But it's not that he's really, really smart. He's like as smart as most 9-year-olds, but the way that they're educated now is different from how we were educated when we were 9. They process things a lot quicker. They do things so much more differently than we do. You'll see like a 5-year-old playing Temple Run for 50 minutes straight, non-stop, don't even die. I can't even get out of the flipping temple. Left, swipe, go, right, all right, monkey, pyramid, jewel. I don't know how they do it. It's wild. And the thing is, when you compare him to my sister, and you see like the level of, all right, let me take the comparison away, because she is actually already on her own pretty slow. So when you look at the two of them, shut up, you don't even know her. Why are you, ooh, why? You don't know her. She dance, bruv, trust me, you don't know her like I do. So when I compared the two, I could see why she gets stressed out, because he's being himself and she's being herself during a pandemic where both of them are a bit skittish with everything that's going on. I remember going to the house just to check in on them to see how they're doing. I'm sitting at the table, my sister's phone rings. She looks at the phone, it's a number she doesn't recognize. We found out later on, it's Vodafone offering her an upgrade. That's good times. You're getting a new phone because your contract comes to an end. But during the time the phone rang, she never knew, looked at the number. After everything that's going on, she's stressed out, picked up the phone and went, hello, who am I speaking to? My nephew was in the living room watching TV. He stood up and looked at her and said, Mom, it's to whom are you speaking with? Yo. Listen. Hey, you didn't need to push her buttons like that. She picked up her current phone and threw it at him. Shut up, man. I'm not conversating with you. And he ducked and went, it's conversing, Mum. Yo, they were winding each other up. So I thought I need to do what a good uncle needs to do, My eyes, let me take him away from the house and give her a bit of a breather for about a week and then give him a bit of a breather. Because it's not their fault they're in this situation. They're forced to have to be in each other's faces, homeschooling and working from home. It's just a lot for them. So if I be a good uncle, let him come to the house. He can do his work at my house. Afterwards, he can play video games. He can relax and chill. And my sister can have some time off as well. Just good uncle is how I saw it. You understand? He's never coming to my house ever again. Do you know why? I realized something. I'm slow too. I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I thought it was, because she's my half-sister, I thought it was the other side of her family that made her, like, I thought it was them. Turns out the same genetics made me look like an idiot as well. I had no idea. None. I found this out because I'm sitting at the computer, right, doing my tax return, sweating. I like to think it's because I made a whole heap of money and the bill's high, right? That ain't the case. Last year's bill is due. This year I ain't have no work because of everything locked down. So I got to try and figure out ways to write off the bill for this year to make it kind of balanced. So last year, self-employed people know what I'm talking about. You've done this before. You try and write off as much as you can so you don't have to pay that much tax. And I'm writing off everything. Everything. I went to the barbers to look good on stage, write that off. I went KFC, needed energy to get on stage, write that off. I needed transportation to link the girl for research and development for material. Write that off. Shut up. Shut up. I do it for you lot, innit? So as I'm at the computer typing, right, and I'm really getting skittish and sweaty and so on, he comes out of the room and he kind of looks over and sees me. And he goes, rah. And he walks up to me. He goes, uncle. Looks at the screen, looks at me and goes, wait, are you struggling with maths? Listen. I'm not your mum. I'm not your mum. I was vexed. I said, this is big people math. Come out of this room. You don't know what this is even about, man. Move from me. And he ran into the living room. And I sat down. I carried on typing. About 5 minutes later, he comes back in. And he goes, uncle, look, I can hear you sweating from next door. Hear me sweating from next door. So, uncle, I'll tell you what, listen. Because I'm pretty good at maths. If you want, I'll do this for you to give you a bit of a break. Because obviously you're struggling. Listen. Remember, I'm in write-off mode, innit? How to save money. And in that moment, I'm thinking, if my sister didn't have a son anymore, wouldn't her expenditure be reduced? If I get rid of him, she could save about 30% of her expenditure on food and resources. But I can't kill him because you don't do them things, right? So I did the next best thing. As most parents or adults would do in that situation, I let it get to me, and I said to him, if you're so bad, you do the flipping tax return, yeah? Sit down and do it, bad man. And he did. And he sat down and he started typing, right? And I sat here, and I stood up next to him, and I was like, you know what, watch in 5 minutes when you have to ask me what expenditure means. About 15 minutes go past, he hasn't said a word. He's still typing. So I look at him thinking, do you know what you're doing? Are you all right with this? He goes, I'm okay, but I do have a question. I go, what's the question? Because you don't know nothing. He goes, it's not about this. Listen, uncle, because I'm doing this for you, would you mind doing my maths homework for me? Because I can't do two at the same time. And my one's a little bit easier, so I don't mind if you... The way I got vexed, but I held it down because I thought about it. He's 9 years old. Maths from a 9-year-old, 2 + 2 is 4. Bring the book, come. Watch me do this, innit? Bring it, come, man. Bring that book, come. And he brought the book to me. And I opened it up and I looked at it. I ain't never felt so much fear in my life from a book of education. What they're doing is different from what I used to do. I read it. You'll understand the fear because this is what the question said. Question 7, and you tell me if you could pick out what threw me off. Question 7. Without the use of a calculator, what am I supposed to do? How are you going to cut my legs off and tell me to walk? That makes no sense. But I continued. Without the use of a calculator, state the volume of this sphere by using pi to 7 decimal places. And in my head I went, Pi has 7 decimal places. Well, what it is pi has an infinite amount of numbers after the point. But when I was younger, all that was required was 3.14. And nothing further. But kids now use pi with the equation 22 divided by 7, and offhead they have to remember up to 10 numbers after the decimal point. Your kids, trust me, I started getting vexed. All right. At him, his mum for having him, my dad for having with some other Boris Johnson again. I was screwing. The way I just dashed the book on the floor, man, waste my time. Shut up, man. You don't even need to use pi. I ain't used pi since I was your age. I ain't used pi, I ain't used a Bunsen burner, a protractor square, a compass. You're wasting your time with this education. Wasting your time. You need to learn some proper things, man. When's the last time any of you went in here, went to Burger King and said, excuse me, I did some calculations, yeah, but the volume of this bap is not what I paid for. I need my bread's worth. Give me my bread's worth right now. Waste of time. But it made me realize 2 things. 1, teachers. Yo, we were clapping for the NHS on Thursdays, right? And that's amazing. But teachers were also doing God's work. Honestly, do we have any teachers in here? You lot deserve every round of applause. You know why? Because you lot were saving kids' lives during the time that you could teach them at school. But also during the pandemic, they were learning from home. You had to keep them at the level of education that they were on before the pandemic, at home, through Zoom, on digital platforms, whilst you knew the other tab was like Netflix or Disney Plus. And keep them at that level of education. You got to clap for teachers. Show them love, please. Now, honestly. That's one thing I learned. The other thing I learned as well, I managed to save £747 on my taxes. That pussy hole's doing it every year. Every year. You want to stay in my family, you need to keep doing that and saving me money. My sister and my nephew weren't the only ones I was paying attention to as well. My gran. Listen, when the whole, virus is out, and he told you who was in the high-risk group, all of us were nervous. Because when you're hearing the elderly are really susceptible to catching it and also not recovering, I think everyone in here felt a bit on edge about that. And mine was about my gran. 100% nervous about that. And I think, as well, she was too. As you can imagine, you were seeing it on the telly, yo, you're in a high-risk group automatically. She was 89 at the time of when she got that announcement that this is what's going to happen, you need to stay home. And I remember feeling a real way about this. So I phoned her just to check in on her. I said, hey, Gran, how you doing? And she went, don't come and see me. Just like that. Just like that. Literally exactly how I said it. Don't come and see me. I said, Gran, I'm not coming to see you. I'm just asking how you're doing. Nobody ask me no question either. Because if you breathe too heavy down the phone, me might catch the virus. I mean, why you nasty germs on my skin. I said, Gran, that's not how viruses spread. I don't know where you learned that from. Don't come and see me because you're nasty. Because you were scared, innit? Like everybody of that age group, they were nervous because, again, high-risk group. I remember the only person that could see her was my auntie who lives with her and is her carer as well. My auntie would go out once a week to go and do the shopping, fill up all the food in the house. But just like everyone who's looking after the elderly would do, when the shopping came in, she wiped down all the packaging, make sure she washed all of her clothing before she interacted with Gran, make sure she washed it herself because we were all nervous about what's going on. We're worried about the elderly. My Gran was also worried about catching the virus. We were there to protect her and to try and make her feel a bit more comfortable by staying away. Let my auntie go and do what she's got to do and keep her as protected as possible. So you think that when the government announced there was a vaccine to protect the elderly, that my Gran might consider getting the vaccine. Nope. Not a single shot. Not a lick. I don't know if most people know this. We're not really in the... When it comes to medicine and scientists, you see, we're not... big man, you're laughing. You understand what I'm saying, innit? We're not really, especially Caribbean, most ethnic minorities, we're just not really in it, right? The only medicine we deal with is green you can roll up. That's our little... Yeah, man, my meds. That's all we... You understand? You know what I mean, innit? Yeah, look at him. You understand. Yeah, man. So when that happened, I got a great relationship with my gran. I can talk very bluntly to her. She's very kind of like blunt in what she says. In a very loving way, but it's very blunt. And so am I when it comes to talking to her. We're the kind of one of the only two that can be very, very blunt with each other. We know it's not disrespectful. Some other family members are like, no, I've got to be nice and respectful. And I'm saying I'm not being disrespectful, just how we communicate. So often they call me to say, look, tell her what you got to say because she'll hear you and, you could be very blunt about it. I said, you know what, I'm going to do that because she's scared, so why can't I try and find out what's going on? I phoned her, I said, hey, Gran, listen, what's this about you not taking the vaccine? Me no want it. Me no want nobody come and joke me. Joke you? It's a medical procedure, not a stabbing, Gran. Me no want it. But Granny, it's for your protection. Me have my own protection. Me have my Bible, my ginger tea, and my machete. Machete? What are you Van Helsing? What? Granny the virus slayer? What's a machete gonna do, man? She weren't trying to hear nothing at all. And then the inevitable happened. She caught COVID, right? Now, before we go on with this bit, I'll tell you this from now. She's absolutely fine. Caught COVID, recovered from it. Something about cantankerous, miserable people. They can't die. They can't die. I'm telling you, it gets scary, but believe me, make this whole building blow up right now, yeah? Honestly, every miserable person in here will survive and go, oh, it's a bit chilly now. It's cold in here. What, you couldn't just close the walls off with extra insulation? Trust me. The virus caught her and then said, oh, nah, we need to infect someone more jolly. Now, this is where it gets a bit scarier. You hear that elderly people get COVID. We heard the news about people getting COVID. They go into hospital, and there was a risk that they wouldn't come out and we wouldn't see them again. Everybody's on edge, as you can imagine, right? Now, there's like a line of phone calls that people get, like people who are like the next of kin and so on. I was on that list as somebody that you can call late because I'm a comedian. I tour around the country and I'm up late. It could be like a 2-3 o'clock phone call, and if I got the call late, then at that point, at least I'm awake where some people might be asleep. So I was on the line for like a late night phone call, and that's what happened, unfortunately. I was in Leicester doing a show. I come off the stage, the phone was ringing, but it was also missed calls as well. So I picked it up, didn't know the number. I said, hello, and they said, hi, Mr. Styla. I said, yeah, they go, it's the hospital, it's about your gran. Before I even said anything to the person on the phone, jumped in my car. It's about an hour and a half from Leicester down to London. I did it in like 55 minutes because I'm scared, I'm nervous. As you can imagine, you get that phone call, you're worried about what that could actually mean. I get all the way down to London, get to the hospital, I run up to the reception. I said, hi, I'm Mr. Styla, I'm here about my gran. What's going on? What's the emergency? And the lady at reception said, no, it's nothing too heavy, so just take a minute. I said, what? So all those camera flashes on the M1, I got a driving ban for nothing too heavy. Is that what you're telling me? What are we talking about? Well, it is important, but we'll explain. This is what's happening. We've been trying to feed your gran. However, every time we bring the food to her, she says it don't make correctly. We don't quite understand what MEC means. Is that like an allergy? Is MEC a requirement, like a vitamin deficiency? We don't know what MEC means. I obviously know what that means, innit? She's saying the food hasn't been prepared in the way that she likes it. It's a hospital, so she's not happy about that. The way I stormed into the ward, walked through, see the big plastic sheet in front of her. I said, Gran, what are you playing at, man? They're trying to feed you and you're saying about the food isn't made properly? What are you talking about? Without a beat of breathing, she replied straight away, look at it, it don't season right. Look at the chicken, look on the chicken. You see the chicken? It's as white as the nurse. You know what? Bring me a defibrillator, me bring back the chicken to life again. I said, what? On God's... know why she thought that way. I do. I know why she thought that way. She did what all of us did. We were all watching the news, we're scared. So the only thing we could do is, if we haven't got information to make us feel like we're comfortable within ourselves and within what's happening around us, we go into emergency mode where we go, let me just do what's best for me. For her, it's eating the food that she likes. For some people, it's staying in their house, it's avoiding other people. Because we were scared, we would sit down and watch the news, and fear was thrown into us. We were in a time where none of us had been through anything like this. I remember watching the TV, and I think a lot of you did this as well. And we'd sit down and we'd watch the news. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you would see an odometer of numbers, right? And that numbers let you know how many new cases there were. During a time where a pandemic's going on, and we have no idea what this is really happening, what this is all about. And we see the numbers rise, 10,000 new cases, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Even if you didn't know anyone that was infected, you felt like this sense of dread, like it was coming closer and closer and closer to you. I got some advice, because it really messed with my mental health at the time. I got some advice to you if you don't know this already. I think most of us do by now. Anytime you feel that sense of dread watching the news, turn that shit off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Take a breather from it, right? Do something that makes you feel good about yourself. Listen to some music, play some video games, read a book, spend time with family, or avoid them if they stress you out. Don't laugh. All of us in here got family members that we don't like. Let's be real. And if you're not agreeing with me, you're that family member. So what you do is you avoid them or spend time with them, whatever's best for you. Get yourself to a good place. Get happy, get up, and then once you are in a great place that you feel nice and good, you can watch your TV again just to get the updates, and then turn it off, repeat the cycle. Does that make sense, guys? One of the best things you can do. Hey, and Netflix, turn that shit off as well. No. Netflix was feeding on our dread. They really was. There was marketing to our fear, and people never realized this. I'll show you how. March 2020, pandemic lick. No one knows what's going on. I'm scared. You ain't been in one before. You ain't been in one before. First time in our lifetime, right? When I say in our lifetime, some of us in here, this is their second pandemic. I see a couple age groups in here. I see 1, 2 man there that got that vaccine text first. You know who you are, innit? The vaccine text come before even COVID come, innit? The doctor, hey, Robert, come in. Why? What's going on? It's just time, trust me. But we're scared. We've never been in this time before. For the most of us, it's the first pandemic. We have no idea how to feel. We're nervous, we're worried. I'm scared, you're scared, we got anxiety. Do you know what Netflix suggested for me to watch? Contagion. Are you taking the piss? Are you mugging me off? Are you serious, Netflix? Are you trying to get me to kill myself? I'm sitting there thinking, no, I'm not watching this. Next suggestion. Netflix come with the next one. How about I Am Legend? The last surviving black guy, after a virus outbreak turned everybody into a zombie and the apocalypse happened. Starring Will Smith. Is that what we're doing? Yo, after a while, I'm hyperventilating, you know. What do I do? And then after about 5 minutes of trying to get my breath together, Netflix does what Netflix does, innit? Hey! Are you still watching? Because we have World War Z in 4K. I'm telling you, man. Everything I was watching on screen was scaring me. I was trying to figure out who to listen to, what to watch to make me feel good. At the beginning, there was only one person that I paid attention to because he made some sense, and that was Rishi Sunak. At the beginning, because he was giving away free money. No, don't laugh. None of you ever heard of the word furlough until you was furloughed. I never heard of that in my life. Furlough, I'm trying to research and figure out what furlough means. Furlough. So let me see. So I get 80% of my wages. And I don't have to come into work. Hey, bring some more of that pandemic, please. No. Come on, get the rate up. That's the best holiday we're going to ever get in our life. And then the inevitable happened, didn't it? He ran out of money and then come on TV and try to do damage control with us. And I remember that. He went on to telly and went, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to learn a new skill. It's time for you to retrain. Retrain. Do you remember when he said that? Retrain. I felt like it was personally him talking to me. I took it personal. Because I'm a stand-up comedian. That's to let you know, I couldn't train the first time round. and you shut down institutions and then want me to pick up a new skill. You're a dickhead. You really are. You have to be. Retrain. And then again, further things happened. It spiraled downhill, didn't it? The economy went bust. We lost loads of businesses. Administration was happening with loads of these companies. We lost Debenhams, rude boy. The king and queen of that high street, Debenhams. Are you mad? And do you know what the most depressing thing about it is? They still have the buildings everywhere so you can see where Debenhams was to remind you what you've lost. It's this grey part of the street that just feels miserable because you remember all of the things you were able to buy or steal in there. Do you understand? Even the mannequins are in there trying to get your attention. Hey! Come look at me, please. People lost money. People lost their jobs. It was getting tight. No one knew what we were going to do. We were worried about how we're going to raise our kids, keep a roof over our head, how we're going to just look after our families and our loved ones. It was a scary time. Do you know what Netflix suggested for us to watch then? Squid Game. Are you serious? A program where the economy goes to shit. So what people have to do is play kids games to get money or die. I'm telling you, it's wild. Do you remember January this year? All right, and this is what I'm saying about watching the news. January this year, do you remember the announcement that there was an asteroid that was supposed to come and hit planet Earth? Listen, we just made it through 2020 and 2021. And now you want to have to deal with this. Someone call Bruce Willis, please. No, make him deal with this. I've seen him do it before. Make him deal with it. If he needs Ben Affleck to help him, call Ben as well. I looked at it on Facebook, I saw it. And when I see news on Facebook, instantly I'm like, not true, until I do further research. I did further research, and it was in like The Sun, and I was like, well, The Sun, they chat rubbish. And it was in Guardian, I was like, it might be true. Then I saw it in the Metro, I said, no, this is real. This is real. What are we gonna do? And I saw, like, the picture of it was this asteroid coming towards Earth. I was scared. I did further research. Apparently, it wasn't gonna come towards us, it was gonna fly close by us. That ain't enough info. How close? 50 miles, 20 miles. Could it divert and go to a McDonald's drive-thru and come back out on its course again? How close is close? I did further research. You know what close is in celestial terms? 1.2 million miles away. That's information I didn't need. After what time I've had recently, you'd have to tell me none of this. If it flew by right now in the sky, none of you would even see it. You understand? They drew it like it was coming towards Earth. 1.2 million miles. Draw that shit going in that direction. It's not coming anywhere near us. My anxiety was on the fritz. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know how to feel. Do you know what Netflix suggested for me to watch? Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. Feeding on our dread, man. I'm telling you. My mental health was on the fritz. It's the first time we started to realize how social things around us, how the world's influence can have a strong impact on our individual mental health as individuals, right? And yo, it's rough. I'm telling you, really is. Like, I'll be real with you, right? When it comes to mental health, I love talking about it on stage because there's awareness that needs to be risen, especially amongst men. Men, we are terrible at this, right? Women have got this down to a T. They are amazing at this. Men, we got some work to do. We really do, right? You two friends? Okay, watch this, right? I don't know you from Adam, but I guarantee this, right? If you had a hard day's work, your boss could have shouted at you, made you feel like you're going to get fired because you're not hitting the targets that you need to hit to keep your job. It could be a rough day. You might call her and ask her for advice, and the phone call would go like this. Sharon, you're Sharon. Sharon! I need you, please help me. What's wrong, Gertrude? Yeah. What's wrong, Gertrude? I hear you crying. I'm here to help you, Gertrude. What's wrong? Please, I need your help. My boss shouted at me. I feel like I could lose my job. Gertrude, listen, I'm going to buy a bottle of Prosecco. We'll drink it together. I'm here to support you, babe. I'm here to support you. I got you, babe. And that's how you support each other. That's great that you can do that. Could I phone you after a hard day's work, and I'm telling you that my boss shouted at me and it made me cry? And I'm on the phone to you, like we're brethren. You ain't never seen me cry like this, but I'm crying now because my boss, who you know is like 4 inches shorter than I am, has shouted at me and made me feel like an idiot, yeah? And I'm phoning you for assistance. The phone call ain't gonna go the same like this. Rodney, that's you. Rodney, I need you, please. Yo, Aurie, what's wrong? My boss shouted at me. I feel like I don't know what to do. Please help me. I need you, Rodney. Watch Rodney. All right, Aurie, do me a favor. WhatsApp that to me. I'm going to put that in the Mandem WhatsApp group. No, because it's been a hard week for us. We need to laugh at something. Because that's how we support each other. We rib each other. Am I lying, bruv? That's just how we do it. So for me, anytime my mental health is on the fritz, right, I don't talk to my male friends. There's just no point, honestly. What I do, though, is every week, every Monday, I talk to a therapist. It's one of the best decisions I could have ever made in my life, right? People, when they hear the word therapy, they're like, what's wrong? Nothing. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself if you feel like you can't talk to people, and I'll tell you why. When people hear the word therapy, they think something's wrong. But it's not about something having to be wrong. Sometimes it's about maintenance. When you get a car, you service it at intervals. Even if the car's good, just to make sure that it remains good so it lasts a lot longer. When it comes to your physical health, you work out at the gym regularly, or you might eat healthily or do both because you want your older self to look at the investment your younger self made. So when you're older, you can go, yeah, I'm in a better shape because I invested that time and did due diligence from early. We do it with the material things that we buy. We do it with our physical health. Yo, do it with your mental health. If you talk to somebody at points where you feel like you need to have a conversation with someone because maybe you need to unpack some traumas and schemas that you weren't aware of until you spoke to someone, trust me, when you get to 70, when we are more so conservative and stubborn and don't want to really have to learn and unpack things, your older self will be thankful that your younger self did the work so your older self can enjoy the rest of their life at that age. You understand? It's one of the best things I could ever do. The only thing is, with my therapist, I feel like I'm being scammed. Nah, she's boxing me. She's taking me for a mug. No, you know why she's boxing me? I'll tell you why. Because I'm paying all the money, but I'm doing all of the talking. It's a transaction. You need to give me something back. Does that make sense when I say that? If I'm paying for you to talk to me and give me advice, give me the advice. Why am I talking the whole time? At the beginning, it makes sense. Because at the beginning, she don't know me, and she needs to get to know me so she can understand more about who I am so she can advise me. You go to the sessions, and she's asking questions. So tell me a bit about you. Well, my name's Aurie, and, I do comedy. Oh, this comedy, that's really great. And how long have you been doing it? Well, I did it for this amount of time. And do you enjoy it? Yeah, I love it. How about your mum and your dad and your brothers, sisters? How's that family set up? Well, they're all here, and they're there, and it's really, really lovely. That's great. And how does that make you feel? How it makes me feel is I feel good. Everything's all right, And at the end of the session, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, Aurie, but that's all we've got time for. And I'm like, no problem. And I get up and I leave. And that makes sense. That's week 1. Week 2 and 3, she needs more context. Because she don't know me, she needs more from me so she can unpack certain things and give me advice. So, Aurie, tell me a bit more about your mum and your dad. My mum's over here, dad's over there. And they're really, really good. They're doing their thing in their life and so on. And your brother says, yeah, they're lovely and everything's all cool. And how does it make you feel? How it makes me feel is I feel like this and, it's all good. I feel happy. I think I'm all right. Yeah, and it's all good. And at the end of the session, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, but that's all we've got time for. And I'm like, oh, that's lovely. I pay my money and I go. That makes sense because she needs to know more about me. But by week 9, you need to give me something back. You understand? Because you know what I've told you. I'm paying this money. I kind of want something back. I can't be sitting in a session of week 9 and she's going, oh, so tell me about your mom and your dad. You know about my mom and my dad, man. Okay, that's good. And how does that make you feel? Same as I did in week 6. I'm getting angry, because I'm paying all this money. I'm sitting there thinking, if this bitch don't give me no advice by the end of the session, watch what happens in week 10. And I get to the end of the session and hear her, oh, I'm sorry, but that's all we've got time for. I said, watch me, you pussy, Watch. All right, next week is something different, Week 10 come, I just walk to the door, kick it down. Boof! Yo, Wagwan Fraser, listen. You see this? That's for you. Read what it says. She goes, invoice, what's that for? Because I'm here talking to you and you're getting entertainment. I do this for a living. I know how much this is worth. Got me entertaining and chatting to you like I'm some Amazon Audible. But Aurie, I'm here to help you. Then why is it that I'm talking all the time and you're just sitting there? And I kid you not, she sat there and as I sat down, she went, Aurie, the reason why that you come here and I let you do all the talking is because based on what you've told me, from your father's family, you're like the outside child. You've always chased their love and attention by feeling like you're not really connected with them because you didn't really grow with them. And every time you try and do that, you still feel like the outside child. There's no validation there. From your mum's side, oh, she loves you to bits, but she's also a super hard worker to make sure that you get a fair chance at life that you would have if you were in a double parent household. She's made sure she's invested in you so you don't end up a statistic. You go on stage as a comedian, you're in character. Whilst you're in character, what happens is that you are talking to people, but you're not being yourself. But when you're in this room, I let you do all the talking as yourself, and it's important for me to let you do that talking, and it's important for me to know that you know that I'm here to listen to you when you talk. I cried. What? You know that, like you got, like that cry came out of me. I was on the floor wheezing. And after I got myself together, stopped crying, wiped the snot from my face, I sat down in a chair, yeah? And this is why therapy is important, people. I sat down and I said to her, you know what, I'm so thankful that you were able to recognize this because I had no idea this is who I was and what was going on in my life. Thank you for even giving me the chance to talk so you can see that because I didn't know. I'm done with all of this. I don't want to seek validation from other people no more. What I want to do is I want to be able to do my job and still love what I do and who I am, but also not feel like I got to get the validation from others to verify my existence and my worthiness. This is day one. I'm moving on from this. We're not going to continue with me being this person. Let's move on. What is it I can do from now on? And she said, I'm sorry, Aurie, but that's all we got time for. All right, week 11. Anyone who's done therapy knows this, yeah? You learn a few things. One of the things I learned from doing therapy, and I think those who've done it will understand this. Therapy shows you who in your life also needs some therapy. Some of you ain't laughing too hard because you're sitting next to the person right now. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, it's the therapy bit. Some of you look at your friends when you go out there. You see you, Candice, you could do with talking to somebody, you know. It does that, trust me. Also, another thing therapy does. Therapy makes you believe you have the skills to now therapize other people. Oh, honestly, you'll see some of your friends and you'll pick up on some things. Oh, you see you, yeah. Aye. No, Susan, listen. I can see that right now you're not being vulnerable. You need to unpack those things because them feelings from your traumas and your schemas are making you all tuck things under and it's all getting gunky. You'd be much better in life if you would just unpack certain things and be real with yourself. You do that because you get your little tidbits from your session and you feel like I got the skills to therapize other people. Same sister. I told her after about 3 weeks of doing therapy, I told her that I'm in it because I wanted the first few weeks to be mine and mine alone. After I told her, me and her started to talk. And I was starting to tell her a few things I was going through, and it started to realize she's going through some of the same things. Because you don't realize when you're in different households now that some of the things that you grew up having and doing, because you're not facing that person all the time, you learn more when you talk to people. And my sister's telling me more about what she's going through, what she's been doing, and I'm learning. I'm like, rah, I recognize that within myself. I remember from my session some of the things that I learned, and I just gave her a few tidbits, and she's taken that, and I'm learning more about who she is now because I'm helping her out. You understand? And then every few weeks we catch up, ask me a few more questions, I can give her a bit more advice, and I think this has been helpful for us to understand who we are as two people. But by week 9, you need to start paying me if I'm going to start therapizing you. Because I'm paying my big money and getting my PhD, and I'm getting my things from here, and I get my therapy, and I come out and I start advising you for free. Yo, pissed me off after a while, you know, because I noticed she was getting it for free and she noticed it herself. She phoned me one time and said, Aurie, I need your help. I had to tell her, look, I'm sorry, babe, but this is all I got time for. And I locked the phone off. Left it. I'm telling you, man, when you get to a good place, ooh, it's nice. It's nice mentally, but it's not just about up here. Yo, you have to get in a good place when it comes to your physical health as well, right? Two go together. You try and do one without the other, one of them will say, yo, look after me as well. That's what happens. Now, I'm not going to feel no way about this. Some people don't like to talk about this, not because they feel embarrassed, it's because they feel like, oh, no one's going to want to hear me say this. You've got to be proud if this is you. Be honest now. How many of you during lockdown actually got in better shape? Make some noise. All right, boom, yes, I love it, yes, be proud. A couple of you were like me, no, all the other people that made their foolish decisions wouldn't want to keep fit like you did, be proud of it, honestly. I'm sick and tired of people making me feel, oh, you got fit, oh, you must be nice. Yeah, it is, I made the right decision. You decided to bake fairy cakes, it's not me. Who told you to learn how to make a lemon drizzle cake? You're not opening up a cafe. I went and got fit, you started to turn into Fanny McCraddock. That's your business. All right, be real. How many people, be honest, how many people put on some of them lockdown pounds during lockdown? Make some noise. Make better decisions. How about that? I lost weight I lost 3 stone during lockdown, right? Thank you. However, the thing is with losing weight during lockdown, the only way you could really do it is either if you worked out at home, and that worked for me, but during the summertime, I wanted to go outside and try and work out. I'll be real with you. On the contrary to popular belief and what you see on TV, I'm not a fan of running. It's not. In the Olympics, you'd think that's all we love doing, running. I'm not, especially after a gunshot. Bang! Nah, I'll walk away. I'm not on it. I don't like running. It's not me. I keep it so real, right? But the thing is, with running now, like, there's always 2 types of running you see us do, and you think, oh, black people must love running. It's either the like that, or it's the one for like 14 hours when they're... I'm not on neither of them, neither. So I had to get some help with the running. I got an app, it was Couch to 5K. Let me tell you something. I don't like listening to advice from like PTs if they're real, yeah? Much less having artificial intelligence in my ear trying to encourage me that can't even see the position I'm in at that time. Because it gets patronizing. You hear it go, oh, you're doing amazing, whilst I'm on the floor hyperventilating. No, you can't see me. Why are you faking it for? You've got 1 mile to go. What, so I'm a mile further away from my house? Well done. I'll see you next time. Bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you I'll delete the app now and I'm going to find something that suits me better. How about that? And I found one. I deleted the app because I was sick and tired of that voice. And it was, I went for 10K runner. Very similar thing, but you can choose the voices that encourage you, right? Me being me, loving London, I just chose what they described on there. They put the title as urban. What they meant to say was roadman voice, yeah? Like, roadman London voice. And I thought I might like it. It might be like me chatting to one of the man them. It weren't nice. It weren't. Because I'm running and all I'm hearing is, yo fam, you're doing your thing, you know. I said that, delete. Flipping Deshane is in my ear from Top Boy and I'm trying to run. No, long bruv, long. So I lost the weight and then I waited for gyms to open up just to go to the gym and keep myself fit in the gym and stuff, right? There were some things from like the previous time at gym that I was hoping I wouldn't see again. I'll be real. There was like some of the people that would go, there was some of them I was hoping that would have got taken out from COVID, yeah? I'll tell you who these people are. The only way I could describe them is by, I'm going to give you a select few words, and you might be able to piece together who I'm talking about, right? The person I'm talking about, I describe them as gym mandem, yeah? Some people call them gym goons, gym heads, gym gang, but I think you all know who I'm referring to, right? They're at, before I even describe what they look like, I'll describe where you'll find them. If your gym membership is £55 or more, they're not really there. You understand? Virgin Active, maybe a Nuffield, a David Lloyd. If that's where you go, they don't roll to them places, right? You won't see them there. Pure Gym, or The Gym, which is not a creative name at all. The Gym. They are there in abundance. Any gym that has a quarantine entrance, yeah? Where you type in a code and the door goes, and you step on a pressure pad, like you're in the MI5 building entrance or something. The door behind you closes, the one in front of you opens, a camera's watching your every move. Like the same entrance as jail. Those kind of gyms, yeah? Because it's familiar for them. They are there in abundance. Gym man them, I can't take them. They're big. Now I'm not a small guy, I'm quite big, but I ain't big like gym man them, right? They are so big that they see you, but they don't see you at the same time. Gym man them only see people the same size as them. Anyone else, they don't even acknowledge your existence, right? If you're smaller than them, they'll be walking and they just bump into you, and all of a sudden they're like, raw, it's windy in here, you know? What? Yo, where'd that come from? Meanwhile, you broke your collarbone, you're laying on the floor, nearly dead for walking into gym man them. Gym man them see you working out and you're doing your thing. They think it's on their mind and their prerogative to have to assist you with the workout you're doing for yourself. Like they are PTs. None of them got their level 3 at all. Don't chat to me. I'll be like lifting like a little dumbbell with the bicep curl, right? Just something light to get myself back in routine again. Here come gym man them seeing me work out. Yo, bruv, what you want to do, yeah? You want to grab the dumbbell, you want to twist it outwards, put your wrist down, look in the mirror, give yourself eye-to-eye contact. Think about your ex-girlfriend and the new boyfriend she's beating. Give yourself some inspiration. Lift it up, shake it up, shake it up. Gains, 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 gains. That's what they do. Brother, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm on the bench press, lifting the bar. It's light. I don't need your assistance. There's no weight on it, you know. I'm trying to get myself back in routine, warming myself up. I'm on the bench, lean back, lifting the bar. Here come gym man them. Yo, bruv, let me spot you in it. What you want to do, right? You want to put your wrist back. You want to look in the mirror. Give yourself some inspiration. Lift it up. Put your chest together. Gains, 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 gains. And man's spotting me. Why? It's just the bar. And the thing is, I don't need you spotting me after you've done your workout, because when you do that, that wafty nut smell is not going to inspire me to get my gains. Do you understand? I don't need that, man. There's one in my gym. It's called Craig, yeah? Big up Craig, right? He recognizes me from doing TV work, yeah? And before he never used to see me, because obviously I'm not his size. But he saw my face on TV, and I think the day after, he saw me at the gym, and he wanted to approach me and say, yo, Wagwan, what's going on? The thing is, he did it in the wrong room, showers. Like, now, gym man them, they don't bring towels, right? They air dry, because they got the body confidence. They don't mind showing themselves for this long time. So they either do one of two things. They air dry, or they have this kind of chamois cloth. It's about the size of an A4 sheet. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a one wipe dry thing. You wipe, dry. It's like when you go to a car wash and you see them man wipe your Mercedes, same thing. That same material on that cloth. He's come out the showers. His cloth is in the locker. Now, I've been showered a long time ago, and I'm sitting down, I'm just creaming my leg and all them things, just got my towel around my waist. I'm just getting myself ready to head out somewhere, right? He's come out the shower, he sees me, he recognizes my face, comes to talk to me and let me know. I'm sitting down, I'm creaming my, let me break this down again. He's come out the shower, no towel, he sees me, wants to have a conversation with me. I'm sitting down, creaming my leg, towel around my, do you know where my eye level's at? You're understanding now what I'm saying about what I can see coming towards me. Craig come out the shower. Yo, wow. If you don't get your dick off my chin, bruv. You're getting too familiar, man. It's not. I moved. I actually left. I moved out of London, right? Now, let me tell you something. London, I love to the core. Look, he's walking out because I said I moved out of London. Watch this. Look at this. You've been holding it. All right, okay, go ahead. Go on. You see how offended? I said I moved out of London. Well, forget this guy. You know what's messed up? He's been holding it for a long time. We don't know what he's been holding. So what we're going to do, inadvertently, he's going to go, but in our back of our minds, we'll be timing it to see what exactly he's been holding. Did you say, don't do that, don't time him? She just went, no, you can't do that. I won't do it. She went, he's a nice person. Is he your partner? Oh, lovely. She's very polite about her heckle. No, please don't do that. I'd quite like it if you didn't time anything. Thank you. Yeah, so I moved out of London. When we got told that we had to stay home, be real, Londoners, didn't it make you realize how small your house actually? My God, the walls got smaller and smaller, innit? When you get told to stay home, raw. Like the walls just came, like I started feeling like I was living in like Harry Potter's original bedroom, right? I had no space, it was weird. Do you know, like, who really pushed me over the edge with this? Joe Wicks, I'll tell you why, right? Remember Joe Wicks, the fitness guy? Joe Wicks really pushed me over the edge. I'll tell you why. Because when I put him on YouTube trying to inspire myself during this lockdown and, try and get myself fit, I put him on the screen, right? He had the cheek to go, all right, everybody, find some space. Where, Joe? Where, Joe? My living room is my bathroom. Where? I managed to find a little bit of space, put 2 things here, left, right, and center and stuff, right? Then he had the cheek to say, all right, everybody, what we're going to do now, we're going to stretch. I put 2 holes in the plasterboard. So I'm done. So, because when you get told to stay home, right, you realize how small your house actually is, right? Because normally in a day, what you do is you get up, you go out your house, you go to work, you come back in the evening, you get something to eat, you go get showered and get ready for bed. And when you're in your bed and you're laying in your bed and your wall's right by here, your eyes are closed, you don't even realize the wall's by your face. And you're dreaming that you're in the Caribbean, not realizing the reason why it's so warm is your hot breath is bouncing off that wall. So when I realized, I'm in some small space, I needed to get out. I left. I moved to a little village in Bedfordshire called Great Denham. Let me tell you something, right? I know you're looking at me thinking, you, village. Yes, me, village. Listen, village life, best life you could ever go for. I will never laugh at village life again because I've experienced it. It is different. I love it to bits. I'll tell you what village life has that some of you may not know. Village life has grass that decided to grow itself. Does that make sense when I say that? Where I live is beautiful, man. It's got swans, it's got rivers, it's got trees, rude boy. London, you're not understanding. Look, let me break this down. You're not understanding me. The trees I'm used to look like this. They have 2 rubber bands on each side to help support their growth, little pussy old trees. Storm Eunice will come and bitch lick the tree. Shut up, pussy old. Call yourself a tree. Where's your rubber bands now? Where I live, I got the trees from Lord of the Rings walking around. Big Ents carrying hobbits. Tree, I am no tree. I am an Ent walking around, having a whale of a time. I see Gandalf last week, I'm telling you, it's lovely village life. Now, the thing is, the village I moved to, I knew nothing about it until I went and looked around as to places to go to. Let me give you some advice. If you're ever moving house, whether it be to rent, to buy, wherever you're going, if you don't know anything about the area, do your due diligence. It's important. If you don't know about the area, look into the area, and I'll show you how. When you Google it, don't stay on the all tab. Don't even click on images. It's that news tab you need to click on. That lets you know everything about an area you need to know, whether you should or shouldn't move there. If you don't, Google Peckham right now. Harlesden, Google Harlesden right now. Stonebridge, Google Moss Side in Manchester, Handsworth in Birmingham. It will let you know if you should or shouldn't move to these areas. Now, I'm from one of those areas listed. I'm not telling you which one. However, I Googled Great Denham. Nothing came up. That was more suspicious to me. Because there should be at least something in it. I had to do some further research. I said, why is there no news articles about Great Denham? I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. Number one, it's a new build village. It's only been around for about 8, 9 years, roughly. So it hasn't got a long history like the areas that I just mentioned. And reason number 2, it's got one of the lowest crime rates in the country, which is good for me. It means I can move there and start afresh. You know? Man, we're always a comedian, you get me? I can go there, and if that place is off the radar and I go there, I'm off the radar. So I find this place, yeah? Lovely house. I give my offer to the owners of the house. They said yes. I'm like, rah, safe, cool. But at the time, I go and do my due diligence. Click on the news tab, nothing comes up. I'm like, all right, we're all good. And then later on, we go to exchange. Contracts are being made up. Solicitors are doing what they got to do. Surveillance is going through. I'm like, this is dope, but I've got to do my due diligence. News tab, nothing comes up. I thought, yeah, it's a dream come true. It's all coming together. Then we go to completion. This is the date where you have to move. You can't back out now. They got your deposit. And if you try to back out, they eat your deposit and fine you the sum of that deposit again for trying to mess up everybody in that chain. You can't back out now. This is when you're moving. Something told me to Google again. News tab. One result by the Daily Mail. You know when it's them. It's a bunch of foolishness I don't want to read. Guardian, Metro, I'm all right with that. Daily Mail, bag of foolishness. I don't want to read this. Due diligence has to be done though. So I clicked on the headline. You know what the headline was? Young black comedian from London moving to Great Denham. I said, whoa! This place has gone downhill. I didn't know they were talking about me. I thought it was somebody else. I had no idea. I learned how to humble myself when I moved to this village, right? There's things I was expecting as a Londoner to have in this village that it didn't have. Do you know what it never had that made me feel violated? Uber. What on God's green earth am I doing in this backward civilization? How am I getting food delivered to my house? I don't cook. And my kids gonna have to learn on a chalkboard when I have them. I got Uber to work once. The driver said, come and meet me. I said, where? Milton Keynes. I had to message him, Ruben, how am I getting to Milton Keynes? He said, call a taxi. Now, the first night you move to your own place like that, the first night that I moved there, now, anyone who's moved house knows you don't order furniture to be delivered on a day, because people like DFS dump your things out at 9 a.m. in front of the yard before you've even signed to pick up your keys. They're feisty like that, right? So you order it for the second day or beyond. When I ordered my furniture, it was for like the third day, which means the first, second night, particularly the first night, I had to sleep on the floor. Fine by me. What I couldn't do is I couldn't find duvets or pillows from where I was living before, so I just found my gym bag and I used that as a pillow and I slept on the floor. Now I couldn't find a duvet, so I did what any Londoner would do. I just slept in my tracksuit. You know what I mean? Don't laugh, we've all done it before. Some of you here have been to a dodgy travel lodge and said, my skin is not touching them sheets. So what you do is you put your hood up, turn your face in the hood, we've all done that before. The first night, that's what I did, right? I listened to Outside in this village about 10:30 at night. Do you know what I heard when I was listening to Outside? Nothing. Scared the life out of me. Because where I'm from, I'm used to more ambient noises. Like, woo, 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 woo. More ambient noises like, hey, blood, give me your scooter. Noises that make me feel comfortable, innit? Where I am, it sounds like I'm in space on the Starship Enterprise and it's quiet as nothing out there, yeah? Scared me. Second night threw me off as well. The second night, I remember going to the boot of my car to get some bits out that I didn't get from the first move-in on the first night, right? It's about 11:30 at night. I get to my car, open the boot, I look across the road in this village, and I saw something that kind of really, it was different. It's what I saw, 11:30 at night. Older white woman, about 5 foot nothing, 65, 70 years old, walking a cavapoo. You know them handbag dogs? She's walking it. She sees me, I see her. This is her reaction. Hi! Scared the life out of me. No, because where I'm from, no old white woman's trying to get my big black attention. At 11 o'clock at night, with a smile and some gusto, walking a cavapoo and not scared. She knows something that I don't know. And she wouldn't stop either. She kept going. Hi, welcome to the neighborhood. I thought, yo, shit, am I in Get Out too? But one of the best things you can do when you get your own place and you've got multiple rooms, if you've not done this, do it. It's one of the best feelings, right? Try this. When you've got multiple rooms, invite your mum or your dad to come over and stay at your house and instill the rules they put on you as a child on them when they're in your domicile. It is one of the best feelings ever. My mum came to stay at my house after a few weeks when I had the bed all set up and she could come and actually rest and stay there for a couple of nights. First thing she did, walk into the house, walk into the kitchen. Watch me. Hey, come out of the fridge. There's nothing in there for you. Hey, turn the hallway light off. You're not paying for the flipping electricity. Oh, I was throwing rules down. My house, my rules. It was 7 p.m. She's watching TV. Far as I'm concerned, in my house, it's too late. It's too late. The volume was on 3 of 50. Far as I'm concerned, in my house, it's too loud. It's too loud. Watch me. Mum, turn the telly off. I'm trying to get some sleep. My house, my rules. And I pushed her over the edge when I was doing this, you know. She weren't liking it. As soon as I said that third or fourth, my house, my rules, she was sat on a chair and stopped me and said, hey, listen, young man, it might be your house, your rules, but remember, it was a mouthful of my front you got when I pushed you out as a child. Messed me up. What? Yo, I had to call my therapist. I said, yo, I need your help. My mum said something about my mouth and her pussy in her. Please, help. My therapist said, calm down. Don't worry. She's just there trying to express herself in the way she knows best. And as this call is free, I'm sorry, but that's all I got time for. Boom. I seriously believe this when I say this, right? After the past few years that we've had, things like this has been so helpful to kind of feel normal again, to get back to a place where we all feel like a society rather than separated sections of people that have to stay away from people. I truthfully believe this when I say this, these 3 words. Laughter is therapy. Laughter is therapy, so you're welcome. You lot had one of the cheapest therapy sessions just now. And it was a group thing as well. You got money for your buck, you know, a good couple of hours for one little ticket price and stuff. Yo, you know the NHS have said that you can prescribe comedians to somebody who is suffering with depression. I'm a key worker now, rude boy. I just want to know where I get my discounted cinema tickets. Line me up, you know, because some Marvel movies are coming out, you know. People have been asking me for a minute, why did you call the tour green? There's a multitude of reasons. If you look at the themes that I've spoken about throughout the tour, the color green is represented in them quite a bit. I'll show you where. Me driving an EV is trying to be more green. Me moving out of London, moving to the countryside, an area which is more... Exactly. The color of mental health and well-being, when they promote it on October the 10th every year to say you're in a good place, they're saying that you are in what their color represents as being more... I let people come to the show that smoke a lot of... And also, true fact as well, my surname is Green. That's my real surname. People, Styla. My surname, I wish that would have been cool, you know. Now, my surname is Green. So when I talk about me trying to be more green, I'm actually out trying to be more of who I am. I'm building up who I am rather than just building the character. Me building up myself is me being more green. And I hope that you were able to come to this show and leave and go, you know what? In my own way, I want to be more green too. You understand me, people? Honestly, thank you for coming out. I hope you really appreciate the show and what we're trying to do. I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Safe.
I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them niggas slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now nigga doing dope lines. I'm running to the cops, that's a big exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it's sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo. I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black. Genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscious. But make something we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Tryna get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick. Unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a limp, I'm a man with a gift. And I'm doing my shit like, Tell them other nips, I'm the nip. I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger, that's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth, that's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all to shoot. Time to corny, motherfucker, turn this shit off.